Hi. Okay, so today you guys are going to be filling out your conference slides, and I have my second period class here with me. So now that everybody has your computers out and your journals, we're going to go over some of the things that you're going to do on your conference slides.
I have 3 slides already built into your student-led conference presentation. The first one is a cover slide, the second one is a content slide, and the third one is a slide for work samples. We're going to be deleting the third one, the one for work samples.
You've all started your conference slides in advisory. So let's focus on this slide first. On this slide, you're going to use all the things we've done to answer these questions. There's also one typo. On the right here, it says, why is it important to establish a community of learners in the community? Well, that doesn't make any sense. This word community should be classroom. It should say, why is it important to establish a community of learners in the classroom? So you need to change that word community to classroom, and you also need to delete the slide after this one. So let's go ahead and talk about the first question, or the first thing you're going to talk about. Describe a community. A community can be any size. It can be as small as 2 goldfish in a bowl or as big as all the living things on the planet. So you need to come up with in your own words, what is a community? When I think about a community, I think about more than one living thing sharing space with something or someone else. And I think of that as a community. So you need to just come up with, in your own words, what is a community, and put that in that spot. The next one, how do East students become agents of change in the community? Let's focus on this word, agents. When you hear the word agent, what do you guys think of?
Spy.
A spy, a secret agent. Me too. What else? What about insurance agents?
No.
Or FBI agents? What do these people have in common?
They're all working for someone.
They're all working for someone else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in East, we are all agents of change. I want you to think about how you're an agent of change. You're an agent of change for the community. And how do we become those agents? You don't walk into the East room ready to do projects and change our community. You have to get to know each other. You have to get to know your tools available. You have to learn about the 5 things all East projects need. You have to become aware of issues in the community. So for this second one, how do East students become agents of change in our community? I want you to think about all the things we've done and how is that preparing you to identify problems in the community and work towards solutions. Next, describe what East is. So at the beginning of the year, I told all my classes that when I taught a regular 5th grade class and I was meeting someone for the first time and they said, hey, what do you do? And I would say, I'm a teacher. And they'd go, well, what do you teach? And I'd say 5th grade. And they would say, okay, cool, and go on. And that's all the explanation they needed. But then when I became an East facilitator, it got to be a little different because nobody really knows what East is. So now when people say, hey, what do you do? And I say, I'm an East facilitator, they look at me like, what in the world is that? And so I had to come up with a 1 or 2 line explanation as to what East is. And that's what I want you to do on your slide. I want you to think about if someone who knew nothing about East asked you, what is East? What would you tell them to promote our program and so they know how great it is? So I'm going to go ahead and share with you mine. My answer when people ask me what East is I tell them that East is a program in schools where students are given the use of professional hardware and software to solve problems in our community. And that's all they usually need. And they go, oh, great, that's really cool. It's a community service class and they get to use technology. And I say, yeah, that's right. So what are you going to tell a stranger who knows nothing about East? The next section of this slide is classroom community. We've spent a lot of time building up our classroom communities. Why is it important to establish a community of learners in the classroom? So let's talk about that. Why do you guys think we've spent so much time doing get to know you activities, doing like trust activities, doing community building activities?
So you get to know everyone and you're not shy around them.
Right. We've got to be able to share our opinions. We've got to get to know each other and get over the shyness so we can move on and share our ideas. Why else?
So when there's a big project and we need people to help us, then we know who's good at what.
Yeah, we have to know people's strengths and weaknesses so we know where they can help us in our projects. Why else?
So we can learn how to trust each other.
So we can learn how to trust each other. And this is a very important one. We've talked a lot about trust. We need to feel comfortable falling flat on our face in East. We need to be comfortable failing. We need to know that when we fail or we fall on our face, that we have people that are going to help us up and that are going to say, hey, you know what? I noticed that maybe the reason you fell on your face was blah, 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 and we can change it. We need to know that the people around us are going to help us up and help us figure out how not to do it again. We need to trust each other. So for this one, why is it important to establish a community of learners in the classroom? You're going to describe why you think it's important for us to do all the things we've done up until this point, to get to know each other and to trust each other and to build this community. The last one, how have we created a community of learners in our East classroom? You can use your journal. You can talk to your friends. I want you to think back at all the activities we've done. Some classes have done different activities. What did you guys do to get to know each other and trust each other? Okay, so for the last one, and actually for all of them, I want you talking. I want you talking to each other about your answers. I want you asking questions. I want you looking through your journals. Maybe you wrote down something in your journal. Maybe you wrote down nail balance, and you don't really remember what nail balance is. Well, someone at your table might. This activity should be noisy. You should be talking and working and typing. As long as you're on topic, you're allowed to talk and figure this out together. It's okay if your answers are similar, but they do need to be unique to you. This is the only day you're going to have class time to fill out this slide. So please work hard to get it finished.
I messed up tonight. I lost another fight.